Ridiculous. Y'all know it. Y'all know it. Y'all know. Y'all already know. If you catch me up this early in the morning, you feel what I'm saying. You're supposed to have it coming. The star's still out. We finna touch up on a few little things. We finna touch up on a little few things, man. What 360 be saying we outside? You know where I'm at. You can hear the cars and shit. But peace, everybody that's joining in. Y'all not familiar with this image? Let me refresh y'all memory. This is Yaldabaoth, the Gnostic chief archon. You guys would know this being as God, Yahweh, Jehovah, whatever. The Christian God, though. And before anybody get up here and try to be like, oh no, 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 well, do your research. This is where that God comes from. Gnosticism. So when people be like, hey man, do you believe in God? What they're really asking is, do you worship God? I'd be like, no. Hell no, absolutely not. Do you see it down there and say demonic? It's not the same demonic that we be talking about. It's what they showing in the movies. This is what they talking about with the celebrities and all that stuff, man. All the celebrities be like, hey man, I'm giving it up to God. Then what you think they talking about? And then people be thinking they smart, all these woke people, oh well, yeah, they doing exactly what they tell you they doing. I'm trying to tell you. Notice nobody can't speak on this, man. It ain't like I'm the only person with this information. Don't nobody want to read. Don't nobody want to study and research. You feel what I'm saying? And do their own homework on what it is. Everybody just want to talk to you about what they think they know. When I bring this picture up or whatever, you feel what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to have the conversation anymore. Everybody want to talk about God, but it's the God that they worship. If you a Christian, you come from that, and no matter what type of denomination or whatever, you feel what I'm talking about, this is the God. This is the Christian God. It comes out of Gnosticism. He was born out of Sophia, the black goddess, an emanation of both polarities, what they call Barbello and the Father God energy. This is Gnosticism, man. Gnosticism predates Christianity. That's who they call the early Christians. But these individuals knew the truth about their existence and about the existence the existence of the universe, the origins of the universe. What you think happened to them? Same thing that's happening to us when we come out and speak truth. I'm trying to tell you, man. They just gave you a story. They gave you a story and a historical figure to look at. They went so far as to create it. You feel what I'm talking about? That was a blueprint. The story they gave you was a blueprint on how you're supposed to live your life. Not necessarily how you're supposed to live your life, because they telling you, oh man, well you gotta do this, oh man, you gotta do that. You know what you're supposed to be doing. You know if somebody slap you, man, you can either turn the other cheek or not. Ain't no such thing as karma in that aspect, man. Karma is balancing yourself. Karma ain't, man, I stepped on this little ant right here, whatever, so I'm gonna come back and be an ant. No, man. People don't do their research. Man, listen, I don't know who you're talking about. Yaldabaoth or me, because I don't know what that's supposed to mean. All I know is it's this right here. Society gave you a God, a Father God. In that doctrine, it told you I'm the only God. That was a lie. You feel what I'm saying? That's like your mother or your father telling you, I'm your only parent. That's a lie. It takes two energies. It takes positive and negative to create. This world was created out of balance, though. Created without that. So when individuals come back and restoring balance with inside of themselves, going inside of themselves, understanding where they came from and who they are on an internal level, you feel what I'm saying? That's what that's the truth that they're bringing to you. If they ain't speaking that, I ain't standing with them. You get what I'm saying? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. But yeah, man. Everybody everybody always want to talk about these gods and this, that, and the third. I'm gonna give you my interpretation. You're not supposed to worship not one God, period, point blank. You get what I'm saying? Now some people do, some people don't. I'm gonna tell you, you're not supposed to be doing that. Because what this energy represents, this archon, because the archon is an energy that on a spiritual level, it's the energy that traps souls, that traps your energy. On a physical level, it's the same thing as well because they go off to be judges, policemen, principalities. All of those things consist of archons or under the umbrella of archons. You get what I'm saying? On the spiritual level, you have Yaldabaoth. Then you have what you would call the 12 archons. This goes off to be your zodiac sign. You feel me? So the zodiac sign ain't always too good neither because remember, it's an animal characteristic or animal trait that you have inside of you. You feel me? And if you a Leo or if you a Sagittarius or if you this or if you that, you're not supposed to go here. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to do that. But if you look at your natal chart, you have all of those zodiacs inside of you. You're supposed to utilize all these different energies, right, to become the Christ. Because the Christ, right, which in Gnosticism is called the autogenius, the self-created, has 12 disciples. In your brain, right, you have 12 carnal nerves. You're supposed to raise yourself up through Kundalini to the highest point, to the middle point inside of your brain, becoming the Christ. On the clock, it has 12 numbers. On the sun hieroglyphic, it don't have no numbers. It's a circle with a dot. It's the same thing without the numbers, but think about it with the numbers with a 12 in there. You're supposed to become the dot. You're supposed to step outside of the circles of time. Or become that middle point to be able to look at everything around you. If you're just focusing on one thing, your mind will be stuck here or stuck there, right? But you got to expand your consciousness to all possibilities, to all potential realities. So so you can know wherever you want to be at. See, look, right? When people be talking about like the most high things like that or whatever, I never really know what they talking about for real, because a lot of people have a lot of different interpretations of what that actually means. You feel what I'm saying? And if you was in a live the other day, most high, right, on this physical level, could only mean so much. You get what I'm saying? It can only mean so much. We spend time trying to define and identify what this energy actually is, right? If you go all the way back into the what do you call that? Into the ancient text, it's always something that you can't explain. You feel what I'm saying? It's always indifferent from humanity. You feel what I'm talking about? The problem with modern day thinking is that we try our best to make it seem so real that we bring it here. We anchor it here and we want to make it mundane for the mundane to understand. But you're into this type of information, therefore that means you're not mundane. So you don't have to do that. You don't have to spend your time trying to explain it or trying to, you don't got to do all that. Once you know you connected to this source, you already connected to the source. Then you got to move forth and do your due diligence. What's your due diligence? Your purpose. You get what I'm saying? Everybody has a specific purpose. The problem is everybody telling you what you need to be doing. Everybody telling you what you're not supposed to be doing. You feel what I'm saying? Where you ain't supposed to be going, what you're not supposed to be studying. You feel me? But that's not what it is. If that was what it was, you would have grew up doing what your parents was doing or whatever. And remember what I said, a lot of our parents have been indoctrinated with with these false doctrines and stuff like that or whatever. So you become the redeemer of the family. You feel me? This is like the Horus story. That's what Jesus is doing. And the whole Jesus story. But you remember Jesus or Horus is the original Jesus because when I talk about Gnosticism or whatever, right? In 1945, they retrieved these documents or whatever, right? In the Nag Hammadi library in the caves in Nag Hammadi, Egypt. They called it the Nag Hammadi library or the Gnostic Bible. It was actually Coptic Egyptian. You feel what I'm saying? So Coptic Egyptian is nothing but the hieroglyphics written down in paper form, basically. So simplified. So before they changed it up, now mind you, this was in 1945, so they already had the Bible and everything, but these were extra stories inside of the Bible. So like the Dead Sea Scrolls and all these other things or whatever, right? All of that, that was that when it said Jesus Christ, it said Horus Christ in there before that. So they had to come and change that stuff around before they released it to the public or whatever. But even still, we understood that this was Horus. So what is Horus doing? Horus is supposed to be the king of the world. That's what you're supposed to be. You feel what I'm saying? Horus is the conscious mind that's redeeming his father. His father is his subconscious mind. Remember, his father was Osiris, and Osiris was cut up into 14 different pieces. Your mind has been cut up into 14 different pieces. By you going inside of this dream state and aligning your subconscious with your conscious mind, you're redeeming the world. You're fighting against what they call Set, the humanity. You feel what I'm talking about? But in order to fight against that, you got to become Set. That's what that Baphomet is about, because Set sits over top of the world. You got to master your lower nature in order to rise up to your highest nature. But remember, it's not about good or bad. You got to become that middle point, so you don't choose no sides, because you're gonna have to use both sides to rise up. And I'm sorry about these cars if y'all can't hear me. Damn. Yeah, man. I don't what's that word? I'm not gonna argue with you, man. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna share something with you. It's it's 5:26. If you ain't got nothing else better to do in your life but to get up here and witness something that you cannot understand and argue against it, I already know where you at in life. There's no point in blocking you. There's no point in arguing with you, man. Good day, sir. Back to this knowledge, man. If you up right now, right, that means you up during the witching hour. The witching hour is from 3:30 to around 6 o'clock. Why is you up right now? The veil between the physical and the non-physical is so open that anything is possible right now. So you just up for no reason. Or are you up to get this knowledge? You feel what I'm saying? See, watch this. The world that we done grew up in, how we've been taught if it's not in a book, right, then I'm not supposed to believe it. But let's go further. If it's not a book with, I guess, reputable people or whatever, right? Whatever that even means. Because schools, different schools, and all these schools, right, have their own curriculum. So even if you want to learn a different type of way or whatever, you have to learn their way in order to achieve their what do you call that? In order to achieve their certificates and all of this stuff or whatever. Once an individual takes that information and goes within themselves, if it challenges the belief system of somebody else, you get what I'm saying? That's when that individual starts to fight back. That's when you start to see resistance, right? This is my thing. There shouldn't be no resistance. If this is what I'm truly dealing with, I truly believe it, right? I should never be moved by it, right? I can't even deal with anybody that's not aligned with me. I don't even want to talk to nobody or argue with nobody, try to refute them or none of that if they're not talking about the same thing. Come on, man. That's crazy. That's the type of energy we in right now. The world taught you that if you don't like something, you argue against it. Come on, man. That's crazy. The world taught you that, but you think you got that from God. But remember, the government gave you God. You feel what I'm saying? Your parents, your mama's supposed to give it to you. But remember, somebody else gave it to her. This is supposed to be an ancestral thing. But you ain't done that. You don't do it. We didn't grow up in that society. You're supposed to be the redeemer. You can't be the redeemer doing the same things that your ancestors was doing if they've been compromised. You're supposed to stand on the shoulders of your ancestors and be greater than them. That means whatever they was doing, you're supposed to do it better. You feel what I'm saying? So go deeper. But some of us don't have that. Some of us don't have that. But by waking up at this time, it's a reason why. It's a reason why you're waking up at this time. Especially if you ain't got nothing else to do. I ain't got nothing else to do but make some money. You feel what I'm saying? But I'm up talking to y'all. We building right now. Uh, uh, brother, if you telling me I'm not a Gnostic as far as I don't go to a church or anything like that, you absolutely right, right? But Gnostic only mean gnosis, right? So you get gnosis by research, you get gnosis by studying. You get what I'm talking about? I'm an occultist. If you want to be specific, what's an occultist? An occultist is one who studies beyond the physical, right? The same thing as a metaphysician. But a metaphysician is going to tell you that all of this stuff is true based upon books. An occultist is going to tell you all of this stuff is true based upon their experience, based upon going inside of themselves, meditation, mudras, mantras, and altering their consciousness. You get what I'm saying? See, what I'm talking about, I'm not even teaching. I'm sharing my experience. What I'm talking about, right, is convincing yourself whatever it is that you're dealing with. Most people that comes up here and tell you, oh well, this is not true. Well, I believe in this, and whatever I believe is right, or you were wrong, or whatever. I'm telling you, you don't necessarily believe that for real. In fact, the word belief is an assumption. So you only assuming whatever it is that you're dealing with is right or whatever, based upon whatever, not your actual experience, based upon the opinion of somebody else. You get what I'm talking about? So if anybody came up here and they believed, quote unquote, whatever I said or whatever you feel I'm talking about, I'm gonna say that's false, period, because where's your experience at? You get what I'm talking about? I give a person a book or whatever and all that stuff because of a reference or whatever, and they go read that book searching for my perspective. That's still false. Where's your own interpretation is what I'm getting at. So don't get up here judging. You feel what I'm talking about? Learn, sit there and learn, or share whatever you learn. You get me? That's the thing. We want to argue. We want to argue. There's no need to argue, bro. There's no need to argue. First and foremost, right? You don't know me. Second of all, I don't know you, and I don't care. You get me? When I get off of here, you're gonna live your life, right? Whatever I said is not gonna bother you. You know this, right? So you got to be doing this for some other reason. It has to be something going on inside of yourself. That's a form of projection. Whatever it is that you deal with, you cannot believe it truly because you feel the need to get up here and talk to me. That's all I'm saying. You come on a live to listen. You don't come on a live to argue with a person. Listen, I don't got free debates up here, or come on, let's argue, or all you guys are wrong. No, man, it's fucking crazy. I'm sharing my experience. That's what everybody's supposed to be doing. That's what I feel like we was all doing. But don't nobody have no experiences to experience. But you are the experience, right? Or I guess it's supposed to be some type of supernatural thing, what you see in the movies. No, it's more subtle than that. So this is why I say meditation. This is why I say mindful thinking. But you probably don't be coming in my lives and things like that. But I don't be doing live. So that's another thing. But that's neither here nor there, man. Anyways, if y'all was here yesterday, did y'all do what I said, man? Did y'all take some time out of your day and actually think about yourself? Or think about the things that you do that will bring you what I said, man? Did y'all take some time out of your day and actually think about yourself? Or think about the things that you do that will bring you down? Be mindful of your low vibrational thoughts. It's kind of hard, I know. Hold on, give me a second. Yeah, man. We got to be mindful of our thoughts because when we sitting here identifying with this physical body, you got to remember your physical body or your ego is trying to keep you here. It's trying to keep your spirit anchored here in this physical reality. And you're not of this physical reality. You feel me? If you were spiritual, you a person that's seeking knowledge of self or whatever, then you understand that you are not the physical body, right? So you're not supposed to name yourself, and you know what I mean by yourself. Oh, I'm the God of this, I'm the God of that. Ooh. Well, you know your physical body ain't nothing, right? So your spirit is the one that's having the experience. Don't place any of these mundane things, titles, objects, or whatever onto the spirit. It's gonna anchor it here. Think high vibrational, right? The more stuff that you focus on that's of that energy or whatever, right? The more your conscious mind will be there. The more your dreams will reflect that. The more the reality around you will reflect that. Remember, your subconscious mind creates the reality around you based upon the information that you taking in. But the ego is gonna always be there to try to filter it out, to make sure you're gonna be safe or not. Because we know as kids, we develop our ego to really protect us, right? But society used that against us. You feel what I'm saying? So now, when your parents told you, oh, well, don't do this, don't do that, you know what I'm saying? That's your imagination, that's this. You created an ego to protect that person, that healed version of that child, you feel what I'm talking about, on the inside. So this is where shadow work comes into play. All of that stuff. People told you, oh, you wasn't good enough. Oh, you weren't smart enough. Oh, you wasn't skinny enough. You wasn't big enough. All these little things. Everything in your childhood, it really starts there. This is shadow work. You got to go and heal yourself. Now, if I'm just talking now, that's just crazy. Because you're not gonna sit here and tell me that your childhood don't affect your adulthood. It don't gotta necessarily affect it 100%. Some people try. Listen to what I say. Some people try to live their life as if it doesn't. That's your problem, right? But deep down in your heart, you know what's really going on. All you gotta do, all you gotta do is face it and embrace it because it is a part of you, right? And when you do that, you can utilize that for a power for yourself. You feel what I'm saying? A lot of times we be having dreams. Anybody ever had dreams? You running from something in your dreams? You've never faced it though. A lot of times, whatever you're running from in your dreams is actually another aspect of you. How do I know it? Experience. hmm Of course, psychology is spirituality now. They tell you in spirituality, in meditations, to visualize, to do all these other things, right? What is that? That's dealing with the psyche. That's dealing with the imagination. You feel what I'm saying? Come on, man. Everything that you see in the physical world is of thought. Everything. It has to come from the fourth dimension, what they call the fourth dimension, the mental plane. So everything that we see right now, like I just said, is thought. Everything has a dual aspect, physical and a non-physical. What I'm saying is align yourself with your dark matter. You feel me? What you see right now with your body is only what they say 4%. You only tapped into, no, not even 4%, 2%. You only tapped into 2% of yourself. Your physical body only makes up 2% of your actual self. The other 98% they say is junk DNA. Once you tap into that, right, you would be able to see what I'm talking about. And more. That's what I'm getting at. They don't want to hear that. That's too much. I guess I'm supposed to be reading out of a book. Not necessarily out of a book, but I guess I'm supposed to be having a religion. Let's start a religion or something. Come on, man, that's crazy. Individuals individuals will try to leave their religions and do all that stuff or whatever, right? But when they actually hear the knowledge or whatever, right? They run from it. They run from it. This ain't even the knowledge. This some stuff. This just guidance for you to go in. It's all about you. Nobody else. But they don't want to hear that, bro. They want a group. They want somebody with all the answers. That's not how the world's set up, bro. You will keep on coming back. You should have stayed off in the religion then, if that's the case. Or if that's where you are, why do you even come here? Because deep down in your spirit, something is telling you something is off. Something is telling you something is off, and you fighting on the inside. But you can't fight the world, man. You gotta do that battle with self. It's always the battle between Horus and Set. The higher self and the lower self. The God and the devil, what they call. Positive and negative, but it's only polarity. Man, I really don't know what y'all even talking about down there. I ain't gonna lie. But yeah, man, it's so much stuff that could be discussed. There's so much stuff that could be done. But just the last few years of the knowledge that's just being put out right now or whatever, right? Ain't nobody doing nothing with that. I know ain't nobody doing nothing with that. Listen, I got an elephant memory, man. In the ancient times, I would have been one of the history recorders. They would have took me through rites of passages to be able to remember everything from the origins to all of that stuff, whatever. I just got that good memory. When I used to gang bang, I was the guy to hold all the literature. So this is how I know. I'm sitting back, peeping all the knowledge that's being put out or whatever. Ain't nobody doing nothing with that. People re-rocking the knowledge. People just sitting there just talking about it or whatever. It can be, like I said, it could be more stuff that's being discussed, meaning like it could be more things that we actually doing if people actually took the information and utilized it for themselves rather than just say, oh man, we could do this or we need to do this or we need to come up with that. We need to come up with that. We don't have, you can't find that or you can't find us talking about that in the scriptures. Show me where. Show me where we was talking about that in the scriptures. Anywhere we was talking about, well, we need to come up with this. We already knew it. So I'm trying to figure out what's missing. I'm trying to figure out what we doing wrong around here. That's what I want to know. People always get up here, they got something to say. Oh, we doing this, you doing that, you doing it. But you got the same life. I live the life I want to live. You live the same life. And some people some people wake up and live to argue or disagree with you. And I'm not talking about no Anunnaki, none of that when they be like disagreeable and agreeable, because that's just another way of saying polarity. But people literally just want to disagree. Why do you want to disagree? You're supposed to challenge everything. And in challenging that, right, it's supposed to allow you to learn something else or not. But you're going to learn something else, whether you disagree with it or not. You feel what I'm saying? Your mind is not supposed to be closed. If it's closed, right? If it's closed, you're going to stay in the area that you started in. And that's not fair because misery loves company. And all those individuals do is like to tear other people down. It don't matter who you are. I'm just saying. This thing is important, bro. I always get up there and I always try to talk about, like, you know what I'm saying, personal things because I feel like that's the most important thing. So when I be talking about like mindful meditations and all things like that or whatever, that's what you really got to do. Peace, God. What's going on? Oh, man, you gotta be safe out here. I be talking about mindful meditations. I be talking about being conscious of what you're doing and all that stuff or whatever, right? Because that stuff is important. It may seem simple, right? But the simple, subtle things are the things that creates the most change. Because you don't have to really put too much conscious effort into it. You do it so much to the point to where it becomes second nature to you, right? But initially you done it with attention. And that intention is attention, and that attention is energy that you're placing behind it. That's the force that you're placing behind it. But a lot of people want instant gratification. It's not going to happen like that. It can though, but it always backfires. And that's when you're dealing with that Hollywood side of what they're showing you with spirituality, which it happens, but it's a darker aspect. When I say darker, I'm not talking about how we deem darker. I mean you see it, so we ain't gotta elaborate. But it's another way to actually do this, man. Law of attraction, magnetism. You got to become the light, man. You got to emanate that, so you can be able to attract what you want, man. I'm trying to tell you, simple and plain, man. Or do you want a religion? Do you want a group to join? Things like that. Oh, it's a whole lot of comments, man. I'm finna really get up out of here. I ain't gonna lie to you. Now listen, I'm looking at these comments and I'm seeing a whole lot of good comments. I ain't gonna lie to you. Um, Bro, y'all living good life, bro. That's absolutely amazing. But if that triggered you or whatever, right? That also says something about you. That's the thing. This is what I'm getting at. What I'm telling the person or whoever, however you take it, nothing is supposed to trigger you. You feel what I'm talking about? You're not supposed to be reactive. Just observe. Oh man, this man said this, that, and the third. He ain't talking about me. You feel what I'm saying? When you do that, right? When you do that, you're having that's a version of having a high vibrational thought. Because you're not taking your place, you're not taking your conscious mind or your conscious thoughts, your awareness to a lower realm that's beneath you, right? If I'm not saying nothing that resonates with you, then it's beneath you. So you don't stoop down to my level if it's beneath you. You know what I'm saying? It's too many comments for me to be reading though, but I just wanted to say that though. Because I wanna let people know, like, I don't care what you're doing. And you shouldn't care if I care or if anybody else cares. That's the point I be trying to. I don't care what you're doing. And you shouldn't care if I care or if anybody else cares. That's the point I be trying to during the time of judgment. But the time of judgment isn't a specific time as to where like a set time and place. It's the time not right now. You feel like you want to judge everybody or whatever, but you should be judging yourself. Now you could be doing good in life, right? But that good in life could just be, watch this, my bills taken care of. Um, I don't have to worry about no food. I don't have to worry about this. I don't have to worry about that. That's cool. That's basic necessities. Now you have time to actually pay attention to yourself. You just taking care of bills, taking care of that, but that's not you. Now you have time to actually take care of yourself. How many times, how many minutes, seconds a day do you take out for yourself to think about yourself? To think about what do you think about? Think about what you think about that makes you feel low. Think about what you think about that makes you feel high. Think about the individuals that you encounter. You feel what I'm saying? How they make you feel, what you take from them, what you can take from them, what they're taking from you. You feel individuals that you encounter. You feel what I'm saying? How they make you feel, what you take from them, what you can take from them, what they're taking from you. You feel what I'm saying? Think about that. And think about how it truly affects you and what you're going to do about it if you don't like it. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Some of us don't have it like that, right? To be able to sit there and what do you call that? Look at our lives. Some of us don't have the time to do that. Some of us are so busy or whatever, but still you can have a few seconds, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's nothing to sit there and just think. When you're thinking and focusing, right, your mind goes into alpha state. It gives you a chance to bypass your ego and allow certain signs and symbols into your subconscious mind to create a new reality or to reprogram your reality. Man, man. But yeah, that's basically all of this thing is about, man. You know what I'm saying? Um, we just we just gotta get our own perspective. That's all I'm saying. My perspective ain't anything, bro. My perspective is my perspective. You feel me? Everything that I learned gave me the ability to come up here and to speak on what I'm speaking on. I'm not teaching anything. It's an experience that I'm sharing, and how I learn what I learned or whatever. That's how I learned it. All you doing is having the experience. We not one upping each other or none of that stuff or whatever. You feel what I'm talking about? So for those that's like, I guess, real creative on all levels, whether it's music, art, business, whatever, you feel what I'm talking about? Each and every one of those individuals needs the time for themselves to improve themselves, not their application at life. You feel what I'm talking about? But themselves, period. The purest part of themselves. You get what I'm talking about? Then we can all meet up and we can just be chilling. You feel what I'm saying? In life, you have to worry about life because society told you had to worry about life. Man, you got to do this, you got to get a job, you got to go here, you got to go there, you got to go there. But the true talent is inside of you. And we seeing that time after time with these entrepreneurs out here. But a lot of entrepreneurs aren't aren't spiritually aware of what's going on. The spiritual warfare going on. If I'm talking about, you need to know. You feel it, but you probably, like I said, too busy to be able to deal with it. So a lot of time people be like, man, I don't believe in that. I don't want to do this. I don't want to. You don't necessarily. It ain't even that, man. You don't got time to sit there and deal with it, man, because you didn't have some spiritual experiences. If somebody can sit down and talk to you and explain to you some of your experiences, you'd be like, damn. I'm trying to tell you. And I've been seeing videos, right, on TikTok called mimic videos, and they probably fake for sure, but it's a real occurrence. And the mimic is how they explain it is, I don't know if it's a spirit or entity or whatever, but let's just say it's an entity. But it mimics like the people around you. It can mimic you or whatever. And say you by yourself in the house, and you might hear your mom or your dad or somebody call your name or something like that or whatever. That used to happen to me when I was a kid. But see, how I grew up in the hood, so we don't never talk about stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And my mama, she wasn't finna put me in no hospital, no stuff like that. But I'm saying, like, we never had those conversations. So these things happen. But if I would have grew up a different way, I guess not delving into myself and understanding stuff or whatever, I would have never known that. I grew up seeing spirits and everything, but didn't tie it together until I became spiritually aware. That's all I'm saying, man. So spirituality is yeah, man. It's way deeper than that, man. It's the understanding of the universe, man. Because you learning to master yourself, and inside of yourself is the universe or the multiverse, the microcosm, macrocosm, whatever you want to call it. But you have all that inside of you. So why would you get stuck in one system, one belief? Why? You create your own. Create your own reality, your own heaven, your own universe. That's what you do. And you can experience it. That's what astral projection is. Soul traveling, lucid dreaming. That's not a new thing. Like, people talk about it like it's a new thing. If y'all was in my live earlier or yesterday, the Egyptians had something called suspended animation, where they went inside of the temples and they laid and they meditated for months and months and months. But what they actually doing was going into astral projection and just basically traveling and learning different things. They explained that in the Emerald Tablets of Tahuti or Thoth. With Thoth going traveling to the what do you call it, to the place of Amenti, which is just the Duat. You feel what I'm talking about? The Egyptians call it the Duat or the underworld. Remember I was saying the other day, we never had no depiction of no heaven or no hell. It was just the underworld. In that underworld, there was a whole bunch of different dimensions. Just like how you and we in this reality, there's a bunch of different dimensions you can tap into. It was a bunch of different dimensions on a spiritual level or a quantum level. But this is all explained in the ancient text, though. So we talking about it as if it's new, but it's not new. But you have access to it because it all exists inside of you. That's all I'm trying to say. And you ready for this? It's not up for me to convince you. It's up for you to be like, oh man, shit, that shit resonates. How can I access that? That's what I did. I ain't had nobody to ask. I did watch YouTube videos. Everybody watched that. YouTube is out there. But the people I watch YouTube videos from, you feel me, said never had their actual YouTube. These is old videos. So in them old videos, all they had was books. They weren't just talking. They was books, 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 books. So that's all I had. I'm getting all the books. I'm learning this. I'm learning that. Whatever doesn't work for you, you toss it. That's what it's about. You know what I'm saying? All these magical books ain't nothing but grimoires. These are books that somebody went inside of themselves and learned the aspect of the science and wrote it down on paper. And for a time, people was able to utilize it until they made it a religion. That's why they don't really work for us no more, unless you put your heart in it. And if you put your heart in it, you got to be serious and pure about it, right? But you don't want to attach yourself to that. That's what I'm saying. We already understand what that is. We already understand that we're more powerful than that. We don't actually need that. So it is going to take some time developing your own system from within yourself. But once you understand the level of or the aspect of past life transgressions and things like that, you will be able to access different powers that you already had access to. We already been a part of these systems. We already been a part of them. We didn't been a part of creating them, all of that, because they come out of the soul. Mythology is stories, alchemical stories told, or yeah, stories told, basically. We looking at them as like modern stories with a modern mind, but that's not what's going on. It's an alchemical process, just told in the story form. So with that being said, you got the ability to go inside of your mind, subconscious, and take all of these different archetypes or the energies. You feel what I'm saying? And express them. You feel me? Through either your personality or whatever you're doing in life. If not, just go off and live life, man. You do have that free will to go off and live life. You don't have to sit here, right? And what's that word? I guess you don't gotta sit here and suffer, man. The hardest part about this is you doing it on your own when it comes to spirituality. The easiest part on the other side is you got a whole group, man. You can go to a congregation or you can go to a mosque. You feel what I'm saying? You can go to a synagogue, whatever. You don't have to be here. You can go to a religion and it could be easier. They give you donations, they give you all of that stuff. You can do that. Or you can get it from the ground up. Make something out of nothing. You feel what I'm talking about? You can actually do that. You actually have that power. And it's gonna be some resistance. They're gonna disagree with you, right? But in that disagreement or whatever, you feel what I'm saying, you gotta be like, they know not what they do. Most people that disagree with stuff or whatever, it's the fear of the unknown. They wasn't taught that, or they was taught that this was evil. So it's still, they have no knowledge of it or whatever, so they're gonna go against it. You, knowing what it is or whatever, you don't force it on nobody. You feel what I'm talking about? And you don't fight nobody for not, I guess, believing or agreeing. You simply go on and you learn a lesson from that. I'm just saying. But look though, y'all be safe out here, you feel what I'm saying? I'm about to slide, I ain't gonna lie to you.